Maximizers, and welcome to Build a Business with Chris, the place for you to learn how to build a profitable business you love. I'm your business coach, Chris the Maximizer, and in today's video, I want to share with you some tips for how to run a small business. I have been a small business owner since 2018, so it's been over 5 years since I started my business, Chris the Maximizer. It's an online coaching business where I help women make more money. And I have learned so many things over the years through trial and error, things that I've learned from my coach, things that I learned from other business owners as well. And I compiled my top 5 tips on how to run a small business. So let's dig right on in. Number 1, you have to have a plan. One thing that I really learned from my business coach is it's better to plan because then you can pivot. If you don't have a plan, you're basically winging it. So what does that look like? When I say make a plan, I want you to make a yearly sales plan for the next calendar year. How much money do you want to make for the year? Once you decide how much money you want to make for the year, you can break that up per quarter, then you can break that up per month, then you can even break that up per week. Then that will allow you to know how much of your products and your services do you need to sell each year, each quarter, each month, each week in order to meet your goals. And even if you don't meet the goal exactly, you can always pivot if things change. If one thing sells really, really well and you want to restock that instead of doing something new, you can absolutely do that. If you don't have a plan, you cannot pivot. So I highly suggest you sit down and you plan. Even if it's your first time in business, your first year in business, I want you to create a plan for yourself. I don't like the people that are like, oh, I just want to see what happens. You want to have something to work towards, and you also need to have a unit of measure. If your first year of business, you're like, you know what? I just want to make $10,000. I want to make $10,000 in 12 months. I still have my 9 to 5, so I don't need this money to live. I just want to get my feet wet and understand how to run my business and how to make money from it. So set a goal for yourself so you have something to work towards and something to measure yourself with. Second tip, you need systems. You need processes. You need a step-by-step guide of how you do everything. There are electronic systems that you can use, and then you can just have a manual system, a way that you do things. Now, when I was in corporate, they called these SOPs, and I hated them. I like calling them systems and processes a lot better, but in the end, it's standard operating procedure. So what I mean is you want to have a system that helps you with your email. You want to have a system that processes your payments. You want to have a system that helps you with shipping orders if you have a physical product. You want to have a system that helps you with client delivery if you are a coach. So you want to make sure you have a system and a process for everything. When you first start, you won't have it. You have to create it. So for example, when I first started, the first thing that I sold was a monthly membership. So I had to figure out, 1, how I was going to collect payment. 2, how was I going to deliver the content that I was going to share. 3rd, how was I going to show up live? And how was I going to communicate with my subscribers who were subscribing to my membership? So I ended up using Patreon because they process payments. They also gave us a platform to actually put in content. I linked it to my YouTube channel, which was free. So I was able to go live and share video content straight from YouTube. I signed up with a course platform, Thinkific, so that I could put replays and such in there as well. So what systems and processes do you need to run your business? You kind of want to lay those out and have them. Now, when I first started, like day 1, obviously I didn't have that. I worked up to it. So these are tips for you to think about when you're first starting. So you're, again, planning ahead for when things get bigger, you have more clients, you have more reach. It'll run a lot smoother when you have systems in place. The other plus to having systems and processes not in your brain is as you grow, you're going to need help. You're going to need support. Other people are going to be on your team. If all of the knowledge is in your brain and only you know the process, you're doing a disservice to your business because that means your business cannot run without you. So you want to make sure that your systems and your processes are well documented and someone else could handle them if they needed to. Which brings me to tip number 3. Once you start making some money in your business, I want you to outsource. And I want you to outsource before you're ready. Now, what I mean by outsource is get somebody to help you. Don't do it alone. I think one of the greatest things I did was I hired my VA, and the month that I got fired from my job was the month that I started working with her. So literally for the entirety of the beginning of my business, I had a teammate. I had someone to help me. It was 6 hours a month, but it was super duper helpful. So what are some things that you can outsource early? Anything that you don't like to do that anyone can do. Cleaning out your email inbox, responding to customer service inquiries, responding to your DMs, posting your content on social media, editing if you can outsource to a video editor or audio editor if you have a podcast. I also had a graphic designer, someone to create all of my graphics because that was not my zone of genius. So I want you to sit down and really look at what are some tasks that I do that are necessary that I don't like to do or I'm not good at that I can outsource to someone else. I'm not saying take all of your money and let other people completely run your business, but you want help. Because as you start to grow, you physically cannot do everything. If you do it while you're a little less busy, then that person will be trained and ready to go for when business picks up. So once you get to the point where you're making a steady income each month, you have tasks that you don't like, but they're necessary. Those are the tasks I want you to outsource. I always suggest to my clients, your first team member could always be a virtual assistant, a VA. That's someone that can help you with a ton of back-end admin tasks. Take those off of your plate and do those for you. But also, like I said, an editor, a graphic designer, a project manager. You can hire any of those people to start to help you depending on your business. If you have a physical business, maybe you need a packer. Maybe you need someone who's gonna take your products to the post office for you, someone to print out the orders, someone to get all the orders together. So whatever you need most, I would say hire that person. And if you're like, I don't know, start with the VA and start delegating them some administrative tasks. Get those off your plate so that you can do more of the money-making tasks and bring more money into your business. Tip number 4, manage your business finances like you would manage your personal finances separately. So business finances on one side, personal finances on another side. So you want to make sure, I suggest, you pay yourself from day one. If you read the book Profit First, Mike Michalowicz says you should be getting paid 50% of what you make. I believe in that. There's no way I could survive if I had a business and I wasn't paying myself. So number 1, make sure you're paying yourself. Number 2, make sure you have a clearly defined separate section of your money that's just for your business finances. Even if you don't have a business bank account, open a checking account, a personal checking account, and have all of your business income and expenses come out of that account. So once you get your business account, it'll be super easy to just roll everything over into that bank account. But you want to make sure that you have an appropriate tracker of your income, your expenses, and managing your money. Making sure that you're paying yourself, you're paying your contractors when you hire them, and you have money saved for the future. So manage your business finances separate from your personal finances. And when you have an LLC and you're ready to pay yourself, all you have to do is a bank transfer and it's an owner's draw, and that's how you pay yourself. Super simple. But you want to make sure you keep those two things separate. Number 5, this is a major tip. This is something that I didn't realize I needed until I hired my business coach, but your mindset. When you are running a small business, you have to be tough. Because running a business is absolutely hard. It's one of the hardest things I have ever done. And if your mindset is negative, if you do not believe in yourself, if you do not believe in your products, if you do not believe your clients are going to get results, you're manifesting all the negative things. So you want to make sure that you are cultivating a positive mindset. The 2 ways that I do that is by journaling and positive affirmations. Like really speaking to myself and allowing myself to think my bad and negative thoughts of like, oh, no one's gonna buy. And then reframing to, you got a sale yesterday. You got a sale this morning. You sold 300 things last year. People are buying. They may be buying slower than I would like, but you are making sales. So don't you tell yourself that no one's buying. You got a sale last night. You got a sale this morning. So constantly finding the positive evidence to affirm myself that positively we can do this. Even if I feel down, even if I feel like I can't, I'm gonna consciously decide I'm gonna be what I like to call disgustingly positive. Now I know it's easier said than done, but you wanna make sure that you are feeding your mindset in a happy and a positive way, even when things look grim. Because it's always gonna work out for you. It's always working out for you. And any sort of setbacks are just setting you up for a bigger comeback. And anytime you quote unquote fail, it's just a lesson for you to make a better decision in the future to try to avoid that quote unquote failure, which I see as a lesson. So deciding to consciously reframe and see the glass half full and not half empty. So really working on my mindset has helped me run my small business. And a bonus tip, what kind of business coach would I be if I did not suggest that you get support? Get support, whether it's a business coach one-on-one, joining a mastermind, a group coaching program, a group of you and your business besties. You've got to make sure that you have someone to talk to that is also a business owner. Your friends, your family, they may not understand where you are, what you're doing, your thought process around running your business if they don't have one. So you need to be around people who are strong enough to understand where you are and to talk you through it. Me and my biz bestie talk almost every single day. We talk things through in our business out loud. But me and her both have our own coaches where we are getting fed and we are getting supported by someone else. So I highly suggest you get supported while you're walking through this journey. I hired my business coach 3 months into me being full-time, and I'm so happy I did because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I really needed that support. I was spiraling mentally, not knowing what to do, making some not so good decisions just based on what I heard on the internet, which it got me so far, but it was not going to get me to the multiple six figures that I've made since working with my business coach. So I highly suggest you get supported. I'm a business coach, so if you want to work with me, there'll be links in the description box to do that. But I really want you to get supported. If I'm not your girl, go and find who is so that you are supported while you are building and growing your business. So these are my tips to help you run a small business. You can check out this video if you want more tips for building your business. I would love for you to subscribe and join the Maximizer family here, and I will see you in the next video.